This is Wanda Vitale, and I'm the founder of the Empowered Empaths. Hey, I have a question for you today. Have you bought into the big lie as an empath? I mean, it's the biggest one that I see. And that big lie is that we have to go back into our past and feel or heal and fix ourselves, right? Go into the pain, process the pain, heal it, fix us, so that we can have an amazing life. Um, some people say that the pain is in their bodies and it's old emotions, that they have to fix that so that they can can experience a pain-free body. Well, here's the big lie. We don't heal or fix anything. We don't dig for all the potential memories that were there. And that's really what I see that a lot of people do. They start focusing on the trauma, and we all had it as a kid. Empaths felt it more because of our nervous systems, but very few people grew up with loving, caring adults who nurtured us emotionally. It just didn't happen. So many of the people that I've talked to spend years going back, focusing on the memories, going into their bodies, because some people say it's locked up, the pain is, and the emotions are locked up in my body, right? And that's just not how it works. We have a conscious mind. We get to decide in every moment what we believe and what we react to. And this is important to know because you are living as an identity. And for most people, until we become conscious, we're living as the identity or as the one we thought we were when we were 7 years old. All of the ideas about who we are, how life works, our ideas about money, our worthiness, how people act, all that was set in place by the time we were 7. And then life showed us the validation of that. So most people are going around living as a traumatized 5-year-old who's feeling like, oh, I need to protect myself and life isn't safe. That's an identity. So I help people create a life that they absolutely love, or to write the book, to become a best-selling author, to become a thriving business owner, to be a coach, to create things out of thin air, because you can. But in order to do that, we need to become somebody else. So the big lie that most people practice is, when I fix myself, then I can have what I want. When my body is not tense, then I can finally relax. And we don't do that. We don't go back into the past and fix or heal anything. We transcend it. In terms of inner child work, we become the parent to that child. You have a conscious mind, and the conscious mind is our greatest ally. Your conscious mind can accept or reject anything. And that also includes these ideas that, for instance, I'm not safe. Yes, you are. You're not a child anymore. I just see so many people using this idea that we need to fix or heal ourselves in our bodies and spending their entire lives on it. And my point is, it's because they're living as that identity, as someone who is broken. But you're not. You're sitting in the center of all possibilities as pure awareness. And whatever we're aware of, whatever we focus on, whatever we consistently think about, whatever we talk about, shows up in our lives. That's the nature of reality. We don't create anything. We just reveal it. You are already everything. Everything already exists. And our attention on it brings it to the forefront. And that is our experience of reality. So when people decide that they need to fix themselves, what do you think happens? Their attention is on, I'm broken. So what do they get more proof of in their lives? That they are broken, that they are somehow less than whole, less than worthy, not abundant, not thriving. So this is why we need to understand that this is a big lie. Use your conscious mind. Who do you want to be? Who is the version of you living your big life? Who is that version of you living your wildest dreams? How does that version of you think? What does that version of you talk about? What does that version of you focus on every day, right? That's the power that we have as creators, sitting in the center of everything and deciding, what would I love? So use your conscious mind. I wanted to read a short excerpt from one of the Seth books. Seth was a Jane Roberts in the 60s and 70s and the early 80s channeled a non-physical teacher whose name is Seth. And it really changed my life when I started reading them. And then, it just has deepened in me over the decades that I'm making it all up, and you are too. You are making up absolutely everything with your focus. So I'm going to read this, and this is from The Nature of Personal Reality. Seth says, you have the conscious mind for a good reason. You are not at the mercy of unconscious drives unless you consciously acquiesce to them. Your present feelings and expectations can always be used to check your progress. If you do not like your experience, then you must change the nature of your conscious thoughts and expectations. You must alter the kinds of messages that you are sending through your thoughts to your own body, to friends and associates. Man has been endowed and has endowed himself with a conscious mind to direct the nature, shape, and form of his creations. All deep aspirations and unconscious motivations, all unspoken drives, rise up for the approval or disapproval of the conscious mind and await its direction. So in one more sentence, experience is the product of the mind, the spirit, conscious thoughts and feelings, and unconscious thoughts and feelings. These together form the reality that you know. You are hardly at the mercy of a reality, therefore, that exists apart from you or is thrust upon you. You are so intimately connected with the physical events composing your life experience that often you cannot distinguish between the seemingly material occurrences and the thoughts, expectations, and desires that gave them birth. And that's from The Nature of Personal Reality, prefaced by Seth. And that came through in April 10th, 1979. You can find that on Amazon if you want the book. So here's the point that I'm making. If all you're focused on is your painful past, you're going to have a painful present because there really is no past. Everything is happening now. If you're focused on fixing and healing, you're going to it's a rabbit hole. You will get more to fix and heal because that's the only thing that's in your awareness. If you're focused on a painful body, you're going to have a painful body. We each get to decide who we are and then think like that person. We get to decide that we're someone for whom everything works out, or that clients and money fall into your lap, or that vibrant health. I am someone who always experiences vibrant health. We get to decide what we want to believe. And when the thoughts come up from our subconscious that don't match that version of who we're choosing to be, we use our conscious mind to say, that's not me. That's not me. That's how we work with our unconscious, with our what many call subjective tendencies. Just because you were raised in a certain way and believe certain things, you're not locked into that. Nobody is. And we certainly don't need to spend a lifetime or even 10 years going into the pain, processing, become the adult, saying, I feel you and I've got you now. I've got you. And every time you start to react like that hurt little child or that terrified little child, it's a matter of letting your conscious mind be aware of it. And you say, nope, that's not me. That used to be me, but that's not me. So don't fall into this trap of feeling and fixing, healing, fixing, processing. You're always telling your body what to do. It knows what to do. Every time we resist anything, that resistance goes through our body. And for so many people, again, so many people are in pain. Well, it's because they're telling stories about things should be different than they are. Use, as this says, let me go back to this, use the nature, your present, this is from that Seth quote, your present feelings and expectations can always be used to check your progress. Are you talking like the person that you're choosing to be? Are you thinking like that? Are you reacting like that? If you're an abundant person, we don't think, I don't have enough money, or we don't say, I can't afford that. When we're abundant, when we're living, in this case, as an abundant person, we might say things like, I'm choosing not to buy that now, right? And if you're choosing to be someone who's healthy, we don't say, oh, I think I'm getting sick. I think I'm getting sick. We say things like, my body knows exactly how to work with this. My body is so vibrantly alive. It's energy, right? So this is what I wanted to get across today, because I see so many people believing that they have to do all this work to process and heal. And it's not. We don't. Yes, we have to acknowledge the pain. We acknowledge it. And then we say, how do I want to feel instead of this? What do I want to believe instead of this? And then we start to become, and then we believe that. We use our conscious minds to determine what thoughts we respond to and what thoughts we don't. So in my work with clients, I always tell them, notice what you notice. We start out with, who do you want to be? We start out with, what do you want to create in your life? What's your big, audacious dream? And then we go to, well, who is that version of you? What's that version of you like? What does he or she think, feel, talk like? What do they focus on, right? And then it's a question of, do you really want that? And then when the old thoughts come up from the old you, from the old 5-year-old you, you say, no, that's not me. That's just not me. It used to be me, but that's not me. So I hope this helped. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I just want to say one more thing, that whatever we do, we believe that there's value in it, or we don't do it. So for people who spend a lifetime, decades, folk talking about their past, talking about their trauma, talking about how bad things are. If that's you, or you can see that you could do that, I want you to ask yourself, what is the benefit? Why do we don't do anything unless we believe there's some perceived benefit. So what would be the benefit of that? What I see working with clients is that some people feel it's safe. They don't have to get out of their comfort zone. It's what they know. Certainly, we can become very comfortable with what we don't like, even if we don't like it. So ask yourself, is it a crutch? Is it easier to be the old painful you than to start to be somebody else? The way beliefs work is that once we reveal the belief, the underlying belief, it's never rational. But once we reveal the underlying belief, they just disappear. We don't have to reprogram. We don't have to do anything. Once we look at this underlying belief of why we do what we do and see that it's totally ridiculous, right? And that it always is. If it's a negative belief, it's always ridiculous because it's a belief that we put in place when we were probably 3 years old, when we were 5 years old, because we practiced in our little 5-year-old brains either or thinking. Life did not exist as multiple options in a huge gray area, which is what it is. As a child, it was either this or this. So most of us, in order to feel safe, decided some pretty ridiculous things, right? And all you have to do is look at it and see how ridiculous it is, and it's gone. I just heard someone say, who is a channel, that we're all here for realization, which is knowing, which is integrating all that you are, not getting rid of anything, but encompassing all of it, being bigger than all of it. And this is true, friends. We are each all that is, experiencing the many different aspects of itself. And some of those were your painful past. And some of those are future that you have yet to tap into. And the miraculous thing, or at least I think it's miraculous, is that everything already exists. Creation is done. We don't make anything happen. We reveal it with our attention. So this is the gift of realizing we don't have to fix anything or heal anything. It's one aspect of your experience, and we can choose anything. And when we take our death grip of awareness off of our painful past, we can start to imagine whatever we'd love, because that exists too. And as soon as we start to imagine it and to focus on it, the way that it can show up starts to come in. So I hope this helped today. Let me know your thoughts about fixing and healing and unlocking your body and all that stuff. Let me know if it helps. Thanks for listening.